Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Talkies podcast. I'm your host Artur with my co-host
Nick.
Hello everybody.
We're not here with JJ this week.
No, not this week.
Remember?
Sadly, we didn't make the trip to Mississauga.
Why would we do that? It's so far away.
Yeah, but you know what's not far away?
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, which we'll be talking about. But this is our agenda of what we're going to go into. We're going to talk about Rick and Morty Season 3. I have a theory that I read online that I want to tell Nick. He hasn't heard about it yet, so we'll see his expectations for it.
We both know that it's coming out on Monday, but this is being recorded on a Saturday.
But it's being uploaded on a Monday.
So, I don't know, if you liked the Season 3 premiere, comment below.
Yeah, let us know how
we have more subscribers now.
Yeah. Then we're going to be talking about Nicholas Hoult and
the J.R.R.
Tolkien
biopic.
Then,
got it.
Then we're going to be talking a little bit of news about Wonder Woman. Then we're going to go into a quick review on the Emoji movie because that's all that movie deserves.
Doesn't deserve anything.
Then we're going to get into the next upcoming Bond movies.
Got some news.
Some news about that. And then we're going to go on a little debate. Because since there was no movie really to review this week.
Well, there was the Emoji movie.
But like I said, it doesn't deserve it. We're going to be debating on our top 5 best movies of the year and our top 5 worst movies of the year.
Bum, bum, bum.
Mm-hmm. So let's get started with Rick and Morty Season 3.
You excited?
I'm over the moon. It's my favorite show on TV right now. It tops Game of Thrones.
It tops GOT?
Yeah, I think Rick and Morty is just more of an intelligent show at this point.
I would say it's one of my favorites.
It is my favorite.
It's a top 5 for me.
Well, the thing is, I have a lot of emotional attachment to the series. It's not just like a good series. It's so good.
It is really good. It's like top 3.
Oh, it's the best.
Probably number 2.
It's probably my favorite animated, like American animated show right now.
It's probably better than any anime you've ever watched ever.
No, Full Metal. I don't know. The Last Airbender, that was really good.
I love M. Night Shyamalan.
No, not the movie. Young Justice is really good.
But better than Rick and Morty?
No.
We're on a tangent again.
Okay, let's go back. So, what are some of the expectations that you have for season 3? What are you excited for? Because we can tell what some of the episodes are going to be about based on the trailer.
I'm excited for Jerry. Look,
really?
Artur knows Jerry's my least favorite character in this show. But the fact that he got divorced from Beth, spoilers for season 3 premiere. The fact that he got divorced from Beth, I want to see what he does. I know he's going to be in it.
Yeah, no.
He's in the trailer. He's in the trailers. Chris Parnell, he signed on for season 3.
Yeah.
I want to see what Jerry does. What if he goes ballistic?
I don't know. Based on the trailer, he still seems like a goofball.
What if they bring the Meeseeks back and it's like, get me my wife back? It's like, sure, Jerry.
That'd be awesome.
Using Rick's own tools against him.
That'd be awesome. But no, I think what I'm most excited for is everyone knows there's going to be a...
What if he calls the Galactic Federation again?
That might be like more of a season finale.
Shoot. Just Rick versus Jerry?
Yeah, it could be.
That would be cool.
That'd be a cool ending.
I'm not going to lie.
No, but my what I'm most excited for in season 3, it's the Mad Max inspired episode.
Oh, when they're in the wasteland?
It looks so good.
Yeah, it does.
It's just everything I like about Rick and Morty. It's a parody, but it's also a smart adaptation of something.
I watched one behind the scenes video. We'll link it below. And the one of the animators was talking about the episode, and she said that in each scene there are no similar characters.
I love that.
She drew every single character in there's like some gladiator arena in that episode, and every character in there is drawn differently. That's what makes Rick and Morty that good.
That's incredible attention to detail right there. Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Like when you see an episode of I don't know, Family Guy.
Yeah, like later
seasons. Don't get me wrong,
seasons.
Family Guy is one of my favorite animated shows as well. But you
later,
could tell a lot of them look this. Or you know what? SpongeBob. A lot of fish just have different voices but are the same. Yeah. Which I get because there's a race of fish.
All fish look the same.
All fish.
Not to be fish racist, but all of them look the same.
You fishist?
Okay.
Do you think fish are friends, not food?
No, I love fish.
Bruce.
Okay, so let me tell you now a theory that's going around the Rick and Morty community.
The Rick community?
It's one that's been out there for a little bit, but it's gained recent popularity through a video on YouTube by MatPat, Film Theory.
It's connected to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, not even close. It's that you remember Evil Morty?
I saw this video.
That's Rick's original Morty.
That messed me up.
I know. Okay, so let me just go through the theory for anyone that doesn't know it. In season 1, episode I can't.
Close Rick counters of the Rick kind.
Yeah, I think it's season 1, episode 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me fact check that for you.
Yeah. So while Nick's looking at that, I'll tell about the theory. It stems from, in that episode, there is an evil Rick and an evil Morty going around killing Ricks.
It is episode 10.
Yeah, I'm right. So.
All right. You want to chill?
They're going around killing a bunch of Ricks, and the whole point is to frame the main Rick that we've been with, Dimension C-137. And the thing that you gotta know in the end of the episode, spoilers, the Rick is a computer, and the Morty, there's an evil Morty that's been controlling him through an eye patch in his eye.
He's cybernetically enhanced. That's how he can control his Rick.
Exactly.
Well, not his Rick, just this Rick.
Just this robotic Rick.
Yeah.
So, it gets to a point where a lot of the dialogue that we hear from that episode is from Morty, which makes it seem that he wants the Mortys to be very,
antagonistic.
Yeah.
Antagonistic. Evil.
Towards, maleficent.
Malicious.
Well, towards Ricks.
This is why we're getting the marks we're getting.
No, I've been doing well recently.
That was crisp.
That was good. And then, for example, we see a wall of Mortys being tortured because we know that a Morty can hide the genius wavelengths of a Rick. And Rick tells his Morty, C-137 Morty, that he tinkered with an idea.
C-137 Morty?
Yeah,
we know that's Rick C-137.
Yeah, no, that is a C-137 Morty. The family ends up living with after the Cronenberg episode. That's different.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But no, wait, but I thought our Rick, who is C-137 Rick, you're saying he adopted that C-137.
Yes, so we don't know if Rick's actually C-137 dimension.
But right now he's C-137.
Yes. So,
damn,
it gets so weird. You think a show without time travel would not be this complicated, but the fact that they do dimension jumping a lot makes it very complicated.
Quantum Leap was pretty confusing.
God damn it, Nick.
So was The Flash.
So then, continuing on, he gets to a point where he says he tinkered with an idea like this, but he says you could do the exact same thing with 5 Mortys and a jumper cable. And the scene where, in the same episode, towards the end, Rick is attached to a computer and is showing all of his memories. And it shows him picking up Morty, which is kind of weird picking up Morty as a baby, which is weird because he's been missing for 20 years and Morty's 14.
Well, I always thought that's him, like...
No,
I always thought...
Him imagining?
I always thought that was Rick just sneaking in there and meeting his grandson, then taking off really quick.
No. Well, we don't know. Could be.
We don't know.
But
prove me wrong.
But so the thing is, he's been gone for that amount of time. So you're like, this possibly can't be the Rick. So could it be that he was in another world where he ran experiments on a Morty? That Morty became evil Morty. He left because Morty probably got intelligent or started demanding much more. Left and went into a dimension where there was no Rick there for 20 years. He could have died or any other reason, and he just slotted himself in there, and he's been living ever since the pilot.
I know Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon are planning on doing something with Evil Morty.
They said they've been talking about Evil Morty more than they've been talking about like regular episodes in the series. So like it's a hot topic for them.
It's a hot scoop.
Yeah, but I remember Justin Roiland said he will not bring Evil Morty back until he knows his intentions and what he wants, like what he actually want to accomplish.
I wouldn't mind a season finale with Evil Morty.
That'd be dope. Or
yeah.
After the other theory is that take Evil Morty and this thing, and turns out he's been living as the actual Morty.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be so weird. That'd be like a double entendre.
That would be messed up.
Yeah. So like I'm not expecting to see this come to fruition in season 3. I think it's a cool theory.
Most of Matt Pett's theories don't eventually work out.
No, the game. Well,
none of them work out.
The Game of Thrones ones, but like those are obvious. Everyone could find out that John was originally.
Whoa.
If you haven't watched Game of Thrones yet, what are you doing? Just go watch all of it.
Do you think Dumbledore killed Snape?
No, Snape killed Dumbledore.
Spoilers.
So
are you excited for season 3?
Yes,
I'm excited.
100%. 100%.
You're not 95, not 94.
No,
100.
it's a show that I have full confidence in.
100.
Yeah.
Hundo?
I think isn't it 300?
I don't know. I'm broke.
I'm okay, continuing on now to the next topic. It's Nicholas Hoult to play J.R.R. Tolkien in a biopic. There isn't so much we can say about this.
I could see it. He looks like him.
Yeah, pretty much. I read the Lord of the Rings books. They're very good. Tolkien seems like either like a very bitter old man or he's just like a cool grandpa.
Okay, so hold on. Here's
what
the
amounts
story.
to.
Here's what the story is gonna be about. So the screenplay has Tolkien searching for love, artistic inspiration, and friendship among his classmates before the start of World War One.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna follow him during World War One and how his experiences there and before it inspired him to write Lord of the Rings and whatever that other book is. I don't know. The Silmarillion.
Yeah, I never read that one.
I never read that one either.
Doesn't matter. Everyone just knows The Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
And
So
Lord of the Rings.
it's gonna follow him creating The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And Nicholas Hoult looks like him. He's a good actor.
Yeah, like he played what? Beast. He was in Warm Bodies. I didn't like Warm Bodies that much.
I
But
don't mind it. I gotta tell you,
he's a good actor.
He's in Mad Max.
Yeah, he was. He's a good actor.
Do you ever just wanted to say like, "Oh, what a shire! What a lovely shire!"
Jesus. But yeah, I think it's a good. Do you think it's a good decision?
Yeah, why not? Who cares?
Yeah, well, movie's what? Not gonna be released for 2-3 years maybe.
We're gonna see it anyway.
Yeah,
it's fine. Whatever.
All right, next topic we're gonna be talking about is kind of, I want to say, a little bit politically fueled.
This is a big one though.
It is a big.
It's not.
Topic.
We're not gonna say it's uncommon, but it's a big one.
Can I
introduce it?
Of course.
Okay, so a news report came out saying that Warner Brothers is planning on making a giant push for Wonder Woman to get nominated for Oscars this year. Specifically, the Best Picture nomination and a Best Director nomination.
Okay, now let's...
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes.
I don't think... I think it's only those. Now, they're also going to make a push for Dunkirk, which obviously makes sense.
Yep.
I think they also mentioned Best Visual Effects, which I know you will shut down in a minute.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? This isn't uncommon for Warner Brothers to push their superhero movies.
It isn't.
We know... Okay, I can't even believe they did this. Do you know they pushed for Superman Returns to get an Oscar nomination?
Yes, I know. Yeah.
How?
For cinematography and something else. I
guess it looks good. That plane scene is cool.
Yeah, no, I understand the reason for it.
Sorry, Brandon Routh. I really like you as Adam, but as Superman, no.
He's just boring.
They pushed with The Dark Knight.
Also, that gun scene, the bullet, like
I like that scene.
That's a good scene.
I do like that scene a lot, actually. They pushed for Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises to get nominations. Now, they all came out with some, but not the ones they wanted, except for The Dark Knight, obviously. The Dark Knight's the only film I feel like should have been nominated for Oscars that didn't. Like, think about it. Come on, The Dark Knight got snubbed in a bunch of different categories.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
It definitely did. I think they knew, like, for example, not to take anything away from Heath Ledger. He's fantastic in that movie. But
you think his nomination was because of his death?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think he would have gotten nominated either way. I don't know if he would have won if he didn't pass away.
Listen, Heath Ledger, probably the greatest performance as a comic book
character
ever.
I think it's the greatest performance ever in a comic book movie.
It might be.
Yeah, it's
honestly
it's fantastic.
Everyone's got their opinion, but usually he'll rank at number one.
Yeah.
But for this film, I don't know. What do you think? Start with Best Picture. Do you think it should get nominated for Best Picture?
No.
I don't either.
No. Okay, putting gender and politics aside out of this movie, because I understand it's like, especially with this movie,
it is a very important film.
It's probably the most important film of this year.
I would say that, yeah.
In terms of, breaking barriers and pushing movie making along, because I believe movies and the whole movie making industry has been very backwards and very unprogressive for very, very long. So to have a movie like this break through, it makes me happy. I'm enjoying seeing the progression. But if we're going to take all of that aside and we're going to look at stripped down narratively what makes a movie, this movie shouldn't win Best Picture.
Overall, I think it's a really good film.
It could get nominated, but it shouldn't win.
I don't think it should win regardless. Nomination, yeah, maybe.
Maybe just give it a nomination so people shut up, but...
Oh, wow.
No, it's just like, well, it shuts up both camps.
No, look, okay. I think because, first off, Wonder Woman's made $780 million.
It is a box office success.
It's a box office success. It's the second highest grossing DC EU film, I believe.
What's the first?
Batman v Superman.
Disgusting.
It's a good film.
It's disgusting.
Stay tuned for a debate on that.
Continue.
And it's garnered critical acclaim. Everyone seems to really love this film. I really like this film. You really like this film.
Yep.
JJ really likes this film.
Yeah.
JJ. I don't think it will win Best Picture. There are other films this year that
I think it should even get nominated.
Nominated.
It'd be one of the very first superhero movies to actually get nominated for Best Picture.
See, but I think there's another superhero movie that is more deserving.
Well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, why not? Throw it at Best Picture. It shouldn't win. I don't think it should win. I mean, there is another Warner Brothers film that will probably win.
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later as well. Best director, you said it should.
It should win. Okay.
You think win?
Yeah, I think win.
Wow.
Because, okay, let me just... Now, this is where best director, the politics and gender have to come back.
Okay.
Patty Jenkins is the first woman ever to direct a movie that has surpassed this. Like, I believe she's the first woman to first direct a major blockbuster movie.
Does Kung Fu Panda count?
No.
Then yes.
Hurt Locker doesn't count either because that was released not in the summer blockbuster period.
Did Hurt Locker win?
It won Best Picture.
I really like Catherine Bigelow, actually. She's one of my favorites.
She's a fantastic director.
Yeah,
I know.
she's one of my favorites.
So the thing is...
Point Break?
Let's not get into it.
I love Point Break.
The original or the remake?
I hate the original.
Really?
Oh, no, sorry. No, the remake. No, sorry. No, I like Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. Bodhi, it's time to go.
Okay, but continuing on. Patty Jenkins, she's the first female director to surpass a certain amount in terms of box office revenue. I know that for sure. She broke a record.
You are correct, yeah.
Also, props to her for coming into a predominantly male-oriented, fashion. For example, what other superhero movies have been directed by women? Literally none. And how much better is Wonder Woman than majority of superhero movies?
I would
almost all of them.
It's one of my favorite DC movies.
Yeah,
like it definitely ranks up there.
Exactly. So just to see, just for achievements alone, the Oscar needs to be given to her. If, for example, they give the Oscar to Nolan or whatever, it's just kind of expected. Patty Jenkins is worthy of getting it. The thing that her team and Gal Gadot did for that movie, I think was fantastic.
Do you think... Okay, let's look at it this way.
Yeah.
She came into a franchise that while commercially very successful, critically floundering.
And she brought critical success to it.
And she was the first director in the DCEU to garner... Okay, Man of Steel, very mixed response. But BVS and Suicide Squad...
Poor response.
Very poor response.
Overall,
poor response. Yes, fans gravitated to it, but critics didn't. Yeah. Wonder Woman, it was the same. Critics, fans, both loved it. And
that's an achievement within itself.
I really liked her directing style in this film.
Yes.
She knows how to shoot action.
It's that's the thing. Okay.
I know that's the writer too. It's the writer's story as well. But you can have a good script, but if you don't have good direction for that script, what's the point? Exactly.
So now you have to take into consideration, for example, there are bad movies that are given good direction, which is hard to point out. So for example, what's a movie that had, for example, The Wolverine, great directing of it, but I just think it was a bad movie overall. But you need to give credit where credit is due in that movie. I know you like The Wolverine. I know.
I'm giving him a stare.
But that's the thing. Patty Jenkins was able to put her own outlook into the movie, and I think she also didn't make it that politically feud. I remember there was that one scene that I thought was going to go too political. They didn't. I guess there's a scene where they're at no man's land, and then Chris Pine turns to Wonder Woman and says, "You can't go there. It's no man's land." She could have said, "Well, I am no man," and then gone. But she says...
That would have been kind of cool, though. I'm not going to lie. She's like, "I am no man." You're like, "Yo, go get him."
But then what she says is, "But that's what a hero should do."
First off, that entire sequence.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. From the moment she steps onto No Man's Land and Wonder Woman, and she shows her outfit, and then the theme hits, and she's just kicking ass.
And you're just like, yes!
I think it should get a nomination.
Yeah.
I think Patty Jenkins has a legitimate chance to get that trophy.
We can't really criticize the third act so much because you can see a lot of studio-esque decisions being made on the third act.
Okay, here's my thing with the third act.
Then that she's may not be that responsible for.
First off, I wouldn't say it's my favorite third act in the DCU because I know what you say. I still like Superman's fight versus Zod better, the most. However,
because you can see what's happening.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. That's a whole other debate. The third act in Wonder Woman, it's fine. Yeah. It's nothing special. It's not the first two acts. The first two acts of Wonder Woman are fantastic.
Well, the only reason why the third act, I have a theory for that. The only reason why the third act, it's not as much of a problem as Batman vs Superman is because you care about Wonder Woman and Chris Pine's character.
I care about Batfleck.
Well, no one does.
Yes, they do.
People just think he's cool.
We are not having this debate. Look, do you think she should get the nomination for Best Director?
Yes.
Do you think she should get the win for Best Director?
Yes.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. I still think there's a couple of other ones who have... Okay, I would say that this Oscars this year, it's going to be a lot of neck and neck.
We'll see.
Like, there are a lot of directors already who I think have a legitimate chance to also get that win.
Or keep in mind that the Oscars are kind of bullshit.
They are pretty bullshit.
And you should just, give success a self-worth.
Yeah, why not?
Well, we're going to continue on. Now, this section is going to be all of Nick, because I can't rant about this movie, because we'll be here for hours. So, Nick, tell us about the Emoji Movie.
Okay, listen. For anyone who had already read my review on talkiesnetwork.com, which we will link below, this movie is by far, without a shadow of a doubt, no questions asked, the worst film I have ever seen in my entire life. Jesus. I would rather sit through 48,000 viewings of Fantastic Four.
Wow,
that's the 2015 edition.
Wow, that's even worse.
Over the Emoji Movie. I would rather retake economics at U of T.
That's a whole different thing.
Listen, okay. I'm not even going to spend 5 minutes on this because it's not worth talking about. The story, awful. The voice acting, awful. The animation, below average. How do you screw up the animation in a time where we have Kubo and the Two Strings, we have the Lego Movie, we have every Pixar movie, we have Studio Ghibli. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay,
even like Caroline came out like in 2008.
I love Coraline.
Not Caroline.
I never. Okay, full like disclosure. I never really had an appreciation for stop motion until I saw Kubo and the Two Strings. Because it's a fantastic film, and the only reason why I watched it is because when I went on vacation to Florida, they had an entire exhibit for it at Universal Studios.
Fantastic.
And so I saw Kubo, and then I saw the other stop motion films, and I'm like, that is some of the most gorgeous animation I've ever seen.
Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite stop motion movie.
It is incredible.
I love it.
But then you get to a film like the Emoji Movie, and it just looks shoddy and thrown together.
I feel like it's just a lot of business decisions. People like Twitter. Let's put the Twitter bird.
The third act involves them going, and I quote, Dropbox.
I don't want to know why.
No, listen to me. Okay. Dropbox is an integral part to the plot.
Is it more integral than Krispy Kreme and Power Rangers?
There's an entire part of this film where they ride on the Twitter bird. There's an entire section for Just Dance. And Candy Crush.
Ew.
Artur, ask me what I gave it.
What'd you give it?
It's a 0 out of 10.
Wow.
In December, when you see my top 10 worst movies of 2017 on Talkies Network, that movie will be number 1. There will not be a worse movie in 2017.
Unless someone just messes up even worse than
There will not be a worse movie than this. It's got a 6% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is, I saw it was 1.7.
It used to be 0, and then 2 people gave it a positive review.
Wow.
We don't like
those people must be desperate or sponsored.
I don't even know what was going through their heads. Don't take your kids. Listen, parents everywhere. Don't go see this movie.
This will make your kids
dumber.
Don't
take your kids. The first 10 minutes has 5 poop jokes.
Ew. Oh, doesn't Patrick Stewart play poop?
He is so wasted in this film.
Well,
how do you okay, first up, I get it, the joke. Sir Patrick Stewart poop. It's awful. Don't go see it. That's all I'm talking about this.
Fantastic. All right, let's now carry over to a hopeful topic, I think. Well, I haven't liked majority of the movies, but we're going to be talking about some potential directors for Bond's 25th film.
Yeah, Bond 25. That's
wow,
the film.
25 movies in that catalog. Damn.
So there's 3 directors.
The majority of them suck.
I would say after Sean Connery, even with Sean Connery.
No, I think after the second movie after Sean Connery was bad. It was bad for a little bit. Then after it got good, it went bad again. Got good with Pierce and Brosnan with
No, there's only one good Pierce Brosnan movie.
Just GoldenEye.
And it's GoldenEye, yes.
And then the next one sucked, and then Casino Royale is, I think, the best Bond movie.
It is definitively the best Bond movie, and anyone who says no is wrong.
Well, it actually follows the book more accurately than
Look, I love Sean Connery, but it is Casino Royale.
And then after I still think Skyfall's bad, despite the fact the soundtrack.
I love Skyfall.
And then I hate Spectre.
Oh, I fell asleep.
I hate Spectre.
So after Spectre came out, Sam Mendes, the director of Skyfall and Spectre, said, "I'm not coming back. We're not doing this anymore."
Thank God.
Then that also gave rumors to Daniel Craig leaving. Turns out he's not. He's coming back for Bond 25.
I want Idris Elba.
I would kill for Idris Elba as Bond.
That voice, Jesus.
Wait, you know what? I'll get to that in a second. There's 3 directors now in the running. First one, we got David Mackenzie.
Okay.
Who directed Sicario, Hell or High Water. 2 movies I love. I know you like Sicario a lot.
Yeah, I like Sicario.
I really like both those movies. I think he's a really good director. I wouldn't mind seeing him as Bond or as a Bond director. Then we have Denis Villeneuve, who directed Prisoners, Arrival.
Oh, so good. Love Prisoners.
Upcoming, what's it called? Blade Runner 2049.
Wow.
Which looks incredible.
If he doesn't mess it up.
There was another movie he was directing. I can't remember. It's in between Prisoners and Arrival.
I know. I remember because I watched
it. No, wait. Didn't he direct Sicario?
I think he did Sicario.
Then what the hell? He did do Sicario.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sicario was the in-between movie because I remember watching it.
Then what did David Mackenzie direct? Hold on.
Well, we're gonna find out right now.
Here. He directed. Let's see. Hell or High Water. Oh, Shared Up, which is another film I really like. Yeah, look, David Mackenzie's a great director.
Both are good.
Denis Villeneuve did direct Sicario. Before you get freaked out, we corrected ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we have an indie director by the name of Jan Demang. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Jan Demang.
He's an indie director. He's one of those ones who, kind of like a Colin Trevorrow or a Rian Johnson, who directed a smaller film that got critical acclaim, and now he's in the running for a blockbuster film.
Makes sense.
Out of those three, who would you pick?
The guy that directed like 3 of my favorite modern movies. I like Arrival, I like Sicario, and Prisoners is my favorite out of all those 3.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I love Prisoners.
Oh, okay. I would also pick Denis Villeneuve. However, I don't think he can do it.
Why not?
He's doing Blade Runner now.
You don't want him to have like shift focused?
After Blade Runner, he's doing Dune. They're remaking Dune.
Well,
with him and I think the original writer. I'm not sure if that's true.
That's not terrible.
But it's him doing Dune.
Okay.
Dune was one of his favorite movies as a kid, and that's why he signed on for it. So this is like a passion project for him, which is why I trust it.
Like J.J. Abrams with Force Awakens?
Yes.
Okay.
So I would trust it.
It could work.
However, I know you don't really know the other 2 directors.
No, I'm not that familiar with their work.
Is there another director you would pick for Bond?
Oh, yes.
Is it Matt Reeves?
It's always Matt Reeves.
Oh,
Matt Reeves can... Any character that it's like one central character that has a duality to him, Matt Reeves can do it.
But you know he won't do it.
No, hell no. Why
he's going to do Bond. He's going to do Batman.
He's so much better. He's directing a better Bond movie, which is The Batman.
I would still root for Christopher Nolan to take on Bond.
I think he can do like a very artistic Bond movie.
Nolan will only do James Bond if there's a new Bond. So Daniel Craig has to leave the role.
Idris Elba with Christopher Nolan directing it.
Someone asked him about doing it with Tom Hardy, and that would be the only film I think where Tom Hardy would not cover his face.
Jesus.
I wouldn't mind Tom Hardy in the role. I do want Idris Elba. I think he's the number one choice.
But we'll have an Australian accent doing a British accent again?
I thought Tom Hardy was British.
No, I believe he's Australian.
No way.
Yeah, go check. If I'm wrong, then...
Let me fact check
I don't mind.
Tom Hardy is English. See, I told you.
Oh, he's English. Why does he sound Australian to me in every movie?
When he comes out in Mad Max, he's like, my name's Max. Yeah. I'm like, why are you whispering? No one's here. It's the wasteland. I wouldn't mind Nolan. However, I do think they're going to give it to the indie guy.
Yeah, why not? Give him
a
shot. Give him a shot big times.
It'll either turn out like Last Jedi or Jurassic World.
Yeah, like it can't. I honestly don't think that. Wait a minute. What?
Think about it. Colin Trevorrow.
Oh,
Safety not guaranteed.
Yes.
Critical acclaim.
Yes.
Jurassic World. What do you think?
Oh God.
I didn't mind Jurassic World, but you already know The Last Jedi by Rian Johnson is going to be fantastic.
It's gonna be the best Star Wars movie since Empire.
It probably will be, right?
I just love Rian Johnson. Okay.
That's all.
Now let's get into the big event, quote unquote, of this podcast.
Dun dun dun. We don't have sound effects. We're not that.
No, we make our own. So right now we're gonna be talking about our mine and Nick's top 5 and top 5 worst. So first,
top 5 what?
Best movies of the year so far
and
worst movies of the year so far.
You got it.
So Nick, you're gonna go first.
Am I gonna go first?
You're gonna just say your top. What do you want to debate first?
I want to do best or worst.
Let's do our worst first because I feel like we'll agree more on this than the top 5.
Am I not allowed to rank the Emoji movie as all 5?
No, you're not allowed.
Fine.
Okay, right. So Nick, you'll list your first 5. Yeah. I'll list my 5, and then we'll debate.
All right, fine. Here's mine.
Okay.
You're gonna agree. I swear, you're gonna agree.
Okay.
Number 1, we have the Emoji movie.
Okay.
Number 2, The Mummy.
Okay.
Number 3, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Okay.
Number 4, Transformers 5.
Okay.
Number 5, All Eyes on Me.
Oh my god, I wanted that movie to be so good and it wasn't.
I
was
will
just
talk
boring.
about why I hated it so much.
Okay.
What are your worst 5?
Number 1, the Emoji Movie.
Good.
Number 2, Fate of the Furious.
I accept that.
Number 3, Transformers 5.
I accept that.
Number 4, The Mummy.
Okay.
Number 5, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
No Pirates of the Caribbean.
Really?
I'll explain. So keep in mind, we can't say a movie's bad or good if we haven't watched it yet. So if they're not on a list, it's most likely we didn't watch it, or we just don't care enough about it. That's the thing. There are movies that are infinitely worse than Ghost in the Shell, but I have a personal hatred to it that it has to be on my list.
You want to explain why you put that over Pirates?
I'll explain. Thing is, Ghost in the Shell, the original animated movie, is near and dear to my heart. I grew up watching it. I think it's fantastic. So when I heard they were making a live action, I was already worried because you can never make a good anime adaptation.
Hey, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Shut up. That's the worst movie literally ever created. Actually, no. The Last Airbender is the worst movie literally ever created. But
it's not the Emoji Movie, though.
No. That is worst. I promise you.
I can't confirm that.
But then when they go and take essentially Lucy, which is Scarlett Johansson's character in the movie Lucy, and put her just as a cop in a very good-looking movie with no substance. It's essentially just a crappy Tim Burton movie, not directed by Tim Burton.
Visually, I think it looks good.
Visually, stylistically, it looks gorgeous, but there's literally no substance to it. And the movie doesn't... 20 minutes in, you're like, okay, I get it. You look beautiful. What is even happening? Why do I care for these characters? No, you don't. And you're just sitting there for the next hour and 20 minutes, you're like...
Just a lot of heavy breathing.
It's just a lot of why did they spend money into this? It's a lot of whys. Not a lot of what's. It's a lot of whys.
Not a lot of who.
Yeah.
How?
Oh. So
where?
Okay, so I don't. So I'm assuming you don't agree with Ghost of the Shell being in my top.
Ghost in the Shell's in my top 10 worst, but I think they're infinitely worse movies strictly because I think Ghost in the Shell looks good, and that's the only reason why I didn't make my top 5. The reason why I put All Eyes on Me at 5 is because I have never been so disappointed at a musical film.
Oh, Jesus.
You already know that they made this film strictly because of Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton, I think it's fantastic. It was one of the best movies of the last year.
It was in my top 5 of 2015.
It was so good.
It was incrable.
Wow, 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I know. Wow. And so when you hear that they're making a biopic on Tupac, you're like, okay, not bad.
And the guy that played him in
he was
Straight
fine.
Outta Compton...
No, it wasn't. It was a different guy.
Was it the guy that was in Notorious B.I.G.?
No, the guy who played Notorious B.I.G. is in All Eyes on Me. That was mistake number 1. When I heard this film was connected to Notorious, awful.
I did not like that movie.
I hated Notorious. And so then All Eyes on Me comes. They cast Tupac. Demetrius Shipp looks great as Tupac.
Yeah.
The cast, incredible.
Yeah.
And then I watched the film, and
even the trailer looked good. But even the trailer looked good.
The trailer looked incredible too.
Yeah.
I remember going to class and thinking, man, this is gonna be a good movie.
Yeah.
And talking with people about it, they're all excited. I'm excited. I go see it. It's awful.
Well, the thing is, I do understand your reasoning for it because Tupac for me is a very political figure. Apart from fantastic musician,
they tried to do it in this movie and failed.
Yeah, it came a little preachy.
Suicide Squad. Straight Outta Compton blended the musical side and the political side of the NWA
perfect
seamlessly.
Yeah,
everything led to something, and it worked.
Yeah, because you cared about each individual character.
Because it doesn't start out with them making music. It starts out with Dr. Dre and why he got kicked out of his mom's house.
And Ice Cube
in the bus, seeing or getting wrongfully arrested. You see all this, and then you see why they make this music and how it affected their lives. All Eyes on Me just says Tupac, didn't rape that girl in 1995. He went to prison, California love. He got shot.
Yeah.
So you know how this movie's gonna end. But you want it to be a good lead up. It's not. After watching this, you're like, man, I just don't care.
Yeah,
man.
But we agree, Emoji Movie is the worst.
Emoji Movie is the absolute worst film of the last 2,000 years, where we've been counting the years. Look, 65 million years ago, it was bad. 2017, it's bad. Jesus. I don't even think of something really bad. I would rather do that than sit through this 86 minutes again.
I can't. Well, to me, it's sitting through The Last Airbender. I still think that's worst. I still think Dragon Ball Evolution's worst.
No. Listen to me. It's not.
It's Norm of the North bad?
It's worse than Norm of the North.
Wow, Rob Schneider.
I hate Rob Schneider.
Wow.
But I hate T.J. Miller in this even more.
I can't believe it. I like T.J. Miller.
I love T.J. Miller.
Jesus.
What'd you put at number 2?
I put it as Fate and the Furious.
I accept that.
The real reason I don't like that movie is that because it's a series that...
It's a useless film. It shouldn't have been made.
No, I get it. Paul Walker died. Rest in peace.
Can I say something really quick? Paul Walker was never my favorite character in the Fast and Furious series.
He's an icon in the car world, and that I totally get.
But you know what I noticed? He is so needed in this series for it to work.
Yep.
Okay, truth be told, my favorite character in the Fast and Furious series has always been Han and The Rock. Han and The Rock.
The Rock's the only reason why the series became good.
That's also true. However, when I started rewatching this series, I started realizing how integral Brian O'Connor was.
Yep.
And how much Vin Diesel needs Paul Walker on set, or else he's just cut loose. He's just like every scene. He's like, don't hurt my son. Don't hurt my son, Charlize Theron. And Charlize Theron's like, okay, I'll just hurt the mother of your son. And he's like, and you're like, wow, I hate this film more than anything in this world.
It was just an other thing is I didn't get enjoyment out of it. That's why I put it. That's why I put Transformers 5 below it, because I believe I got some enjoyment out of Transformers 5.
Well, we just had fun making fun of it, and the action scenes were okay.
Yeah, that's
why not?
Yeah. What'd you put as number 2?
The Mummy.
I put that as my number 4.
God awful.
I think it was just a waste of Tom Cruise and a bad reboot.
I think Tom Cruise and mostly anything these days is bad. However,
the 5th Mission Impossible was really good.
Okay, that I give to Christopher McQuarrie.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a gifted director and writer, and whenever him and Tom Cruise are together, that's what I like. However, The Mummy, first off, the whole rebooted Universal Monster movie universe, I like those classic monster movies. I think they're some of the best movies in cinema history. Like Frankenstein.
Just leave them
alone.
Just leave them alone.
Just stop.
Like, if people want to go check out good monster movies, just send them back to 1931, and they'll just watch good movies.
They're old, but they're so good. Like, they hold up.
Yeah,
Mummy.
I still watch them now.
The Mummy will not hold up ever.
No,
it's awful.
Yeah, just go watch the original Mummy with Boris Karloff. You'll just have a good time.
Did we both put Pirates in the top 5?
I didn't put Pirates in there.
Oh, okay.
It was just boring. Like, I hated it because it was boring.
Shouldn't have happened.
It was just there. It was another poorly Johnny Depp performance.
Shouldn't have happened.
Done with terrible effects for a series that should have ended at World's End, because it literally has the word "end" in it.
You know what I really hated about that film? I was promised Orlando Bloom, and we never got Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, what? How much Orlando Bloom did we get in the movie?
The opening and the end scene.
Yep.
And then Keira Knightley shows up and doesn't talk.
Yeah.
And then they show a post-credit scene with Davy Jones, and I'm like, oh great, we're going back to Davy Jones.
It's just a terrible series that should end.
I don't want any more Pirates movies, but we both know we're getting another one.
Yeah. Just like we might get another Transformers.
We're getting like 15 other Transformers. Get ready. It's a cinematic universe.
Ew, let's just stop it. All right, now into a much probably where we're gonna disagree a lot.
We're gonna disagree quite a bit.
We're gonna go to our top 5 now, best movies of the year so far.
You want to start?
I'm gonna say my list.
Yeah, you start.
And it's gonna be, there's some surprises on there. There's some that for sure are there, and so on and so forth.
Okay, go.
Number 1, Dunkirk.
Okay.
Dunkirk's my favorite movie of the year so far.
All right.
Then War for the Planet of the Apes.
Uh-huh.
Then Wonder Woman. Yeah, see, look at that. You didn't know it was going to hit you that hard.
You did not just do that.
Then Baby Driver. Then Your Name.
Wow. We have an issue.
Nick, what is your top 5?
Well, you already know that at number 1, it's Logan.
Of course it is.
At number 2, we have War for the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, we agree on that.
Number 3, Dunkirk.
Okay, we both have it on our list.
Number 4, Baby Driver.
Hey, we're both for Baby Driver.
Number 5, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh.
You forgot about it, didn't you?
No. Just chose not to put it in.
Why is Logan not in your top 5?
I'll explain why Logan's not in my top 5. Although I love Logan, and I'm pretty sure I cried for 20 minutes after the movie ended. It's a movie that I've rewatched, and not that it got worse with a repeated viewing. Just it's a very sad tale that I feel needs to be watched once to be fully appreciated. All of these movies, if you watch it again to me, have a different feel.
You're telling me War for the Planet of the Apes.
If you watch it another time, you have a completely different outlook because you already know what the ending's going to be.
But you already know what the ending is in Logan as well.
No, exactly. That's why. But the thing is, then you know what? War for the Planet of the Apes and Logan kind of share almost the same tale.
Well, they're both made by Fox too.
Yeah, no, they share the same tale. It's about an aging main character, which is their last movie. They pass away after the movie.
Oh my god, with a silent girl kid.
Yeah.
And an older, wiser mentor in Maurice and Patrick Stewart. Damn it.
It's a very similar movie. The thing is, I've seen Logan done many, many times. Not that I got fatigued from Logan. I think
they try to wipe out mutants and apes. Holy shit, they're the same film.
It's the same movie. It's the same movie. Thing is, the character of Caesar, I think, is more interesting to me than the character of Logan.
Okay, here's the thing. I guess I have some bias when Wolverine is my favorite comic book character.
Yeah, I know.
Ever.
I know.
17 years I've been invested in this X-Men series. X-Men was the first superhero movie I've ever watched. So I've been watching Hugh Jackman since 2000.
Mine was Spider-Man.
No.
Mine was Spider-Man.
Mine was X-Men because my dad burned it on a VHS.
Well, good to know your dad's isn't illegal.
He's a criminal. But no, Logan, the music, the acting, the cinematography, the story, everything about it's a 10 out of 10 film for me. Jesus.
Okay.
Like, I have watched that movie probably a dozen times, and it holds up every time I watch it.
Well, that's the thing. Except keep in mind, this is a subjective.
Everyone has their own opinion,
but Nick's definitely wrong.
Unless you think the Emoji Movie is a good film, and in which case you need to change your opinion.
For example, I think the one difference we have is except for Your Name, which is an animated movie.
You think Wonder Woman's better?
I think Wonder Woman's better than Spider-Man.
You think it's better than Logan?
No, but I think Wonder Woman does something much more important than Logan does. That's why it's on. Like I said, narratively, no. Logan is 50 times better than Wonder Woman narratively. But the thing is, Wonder Woman is just such an important movie for cinema that it has to be in the top 5.
I put Wonder Woman at 6, actually.
No, that's okay. It makes sense. The thing is, like I said, the third act, I don't fault Patty Jenkins too much because it seems like it was a studio... the studio is very involved in the third act because the third act has to lead to something, to a new world that we're building.
That's strictly why I put it at 6. I think Spider-Man overall, flow-wise, the first act nicely leads to the second act, which leads to the third act, and I prefer.
It felt a little long though.
Did it? Honestly, I can agree with you on it a little bit.
To me, it felt a little long. Like, I wouldn't mind an extra cut another 15 minutes out of that. It would have been perfect.
With Spider-Man, I really liked how self-contained it was.
Yes.
Which Wonder Woman also did very well. Yeah. It felt Spider-Man and Wonder Woman felt very separate from their respective.
I've seen a better Spider-Man movie.
You've only seen one better Spider-Man movie.
Exactly. But I haven't seen a good Wonder Woman movie.
Did you not like the animated Wonder Woman movie?
No, I did, but we're talking about live action.
We're talking about live action. I've honestly been going back and forth on whether Wonder Woman should be on the top 5 or not, and I think the only reason why it's not is villains.
Yeah.
I prefer Michael Keaton.
He's a much, much better villain than
why I put Spider-Man at 5.
But you want to know why I don't do that? Because, I don't know, you were sitting next to me in the theater. I want to see if you can remember what I did.
In Wonder Woman?
In Wonder Woman, there's a scene where she knees a guy through a wall.
That was awesome.
And I just, I am a very polite person in the theater. I turn off my phone. I'm not just put it on silent.
Did you yell?
I yelled. I'm like, fuck my shit up. It was just such a yes!
Wasn't that No Man's Land sequence?
Yes! Yeah, right when she knees him out of the building.
Yeah, that was a really cool moment.
The thing is, in Spider-Man, I never got that feeling.
See, I
was just always happy because I saw the Peter Parker I always wanted. But
see, I always thought it was just also a really fun film. Like, it was a movie I went to and I was like, man, this is just a lot of smiling right now and I'm happy. Yeah. I don't have to worry about it.
Experience-wise, I came out of Wonder Woman happier than I did in Spider-Man. That's why I chose it. That's why I put Wonder Woman. Thing is,
I do think Wonder Woman is more.
I also left Logan like a desperate mess.
Well, we were a mess. Okay, let me quickly put it into perspective. Logan. It was me, Artur, JJ, and a bunch of our friends. Save for 2 people, the entire group was in tears.
Yeah,
and a lot of that were dudes.
Yeah, it was funny. It's just okay. So for me, for you, it was the death of a beloved character.
Seeing Hugh Jackman in the role one last time, and then going out the way he did, it wasn't tears of sadness. It was a lot of tears of joy. That is the best X-Men movie.
Yeah, no, it is the best.
It's also my favorite superhero movie ever.
Nah, see, mine's The Dark Knight.
Okay, see, this is what I meant earlier when I said in the previous part of this podcast. I believe Logan should get some Oscar nominations.
Yes, I think it should.
If not, okay, Best Actor. You think they'll even give it to Hugh Jackman? I think that's the one it could get.
Yeah, that's the only. That and probably I don't know. No, cinematography wouldn't win because too much gore.
Best Director. Do you think it could get a nomination?
Yeah, I think it could. It can't win, but it can because Dunkirk should win Best. Okay, I think Patty Jenkins should win Best Director, but if she doesn't, I believe Dunkirk will.
Do you think Logan could get Best Picture since it's 10 films nominated during the year?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it could get some nominations.
Probably sound
mixing.
mixing.
This is the year for superhero movies.
Notice Dunkirk can get it for sound mixing.
Did you put Dunkirk at number 1?
I put Dunkirk at number 1. It's one of my favorite Nolan movies. It goes Dark Knight and then Dunkirk.
Same here.
Because Dunkirk, I think, it gets rid of all the bullshit that I hate about war movies, and it just throws it out the fucking window. No unnecessary romance. No boardroom meetings with officials we don't care about. We stay with the soldiers. And the smartest part, we don't know any of their names. Because tell me one soldier you know that fought back then and did this specific thing in this specific area.
My grandfather?
Okay, that's not the point. The thing is that mostly the soldiers we know of that fought in that war, in the Battle of Dunkirk, they're nameless. We don't know who they were. So why should Nolan give them a character? And the best thing about it, no one in that movie goes, hey, my name is George, and I have a family waiting back home for me. No one does that in war. People are quiet. They're silent because they don't know when the next gunshot will be.
I think the only war film I realistically like is Saving Private Ryan.
Nah, this is better.
Can you name another war film that you liked besides those two?
Yeah.
Is it Hacksaw Ridge?
No.
Letters from Iwo Jima?
No.
Anime doesn't count.
No, anime doesn't count.
What is it?
It's a movie that's better than both of them. All of these movies combined.
What is it?
Full Metal Jacket.
Get out of Stanley here! Oh, okay, fine. I guess. Oh, sorry. Apocalypse Now I also really like.
No, I think it's better.
Man, have you ever watched Rambo 2?
First Blood is really good.
No, First Blood Part 2.
I know, but
he's like, hey, Chief, can we win the war this time?
Shut
and
up.
You're like, man, I hate everything about Sylvester Stallone in this era.
But yeah, so
Dunkirk, I think, is Nolan's second best film ever. I don't think it tops The Dark Knight. However, it holds it is his most beautifully filmed.
Yes.
Beautifully filmed movie.
It's just so
it's gorgeous.
Watch it in IMAX, please.
You have to.
Please.
But the way, first off, he limits the non-IMAX, which I really liked.
Yes.
Which he also did in Interstellar, but not as good as he did here.
Yeah.
Here, it was at least 85%
and here, there's
IMAX.
no convoluted plot. Everything is straightforward and it makes sense.
I like Interstellar.
Characters say exactly what they're thinking. It's never like, but what's Matthew McConaughey really saying in this scene?
I like Interstellar.
I know, so do I.
It's my third favorite Nolan film.
It's okay, they can be, but it's not.
Should I change my opinion?
Yes. We agree with Baby Driver. We think it's a fantastic movie.
That's what I had to say. Do you think Baby Driver could get an Oscar nomination?
I just want Edgar Wright to get an Oscar.
Okay? I want Edgar Wright to get
Like Scott Pilgrim is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it did not get the service it deserved.
I think
Please this.
Okay, so first off, this movie's made $120 million, which is, yes, thank God. Yeah, he's making money. First, the soundtrack for Baby Driver.
So good.
Incredible.
So good.
I like how he uses the songs that you think you're going to hear. Like, you think, in the beginning moments of the film, you think you're going to hear House of Pain jump around, but then it's the original Harlem Shake version, and you're like, whoa, Edgar Wright. Like, what are you doing here?
But when he's doing the stylistic,
it's gorgeous.
It works. God damn.
I would say it's the best action I've seen this year.
Yeah.
At least one of them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you look at that film, and you're like, how in the hell did you do that kind of car chase? That's not possible.
It was so good. And then the only difference that I have in my number 5, I put Your Name. It's an animated movie, and it's about a body switching story where a guy and a girl, they switch bodies, and then they're trying to find each other to restore them in their own bodies. And they learned a lot about each other in the meantime. And I think it's a very personal movie. And I will say, apart from Dunkirk, well, actually, no, this movie is better looking than Dunkirk.
Okay, but it's an animated film.
But
is this Studio Ghibli?
No. It's so well drawn that you're like, no way that's hand drawn. No way. And then you look back behind the scenes, all hand drawn.
All hand drawn.
It messes me up every time I think about it.
I really like hand drawn animation. I miss it.
It's so good.
I miss it.
Yeah. So
those again, I don't mind computer. Like, I know Pixar kind of pioneered that.
Yeah.
That's why I like.
Well, they're good, but like I always like the tracking back.
Yeah.
I always love that.
So what's your favorite movie of the year? Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
And
what's
I'm
yours?
Logan.
What's your worst favorite movie? What's the worst movie?
Still the Emoji movie.
Still the Emoji movie.
The worst part is, I actually, in my review, I wrote as Artur's rating was smart and ignored this film. But then he calls me and he goes, dude, I went to go see the Emoji movie.
Yeah.
Like, after I posted it. Yeah. And I'm like, how could you do that?
Why'd you do such a thing?
I'm like, why didn't you wait for my review? He's like, I was already here. And I'm like, this is impossible.
Well, good to know we don't coordinate stuff.
Why would we? We're a mess of a company.
No. So, those are our top 5s of the year, best and worst. We would love to hear your top 5 and top worst.
Please, whoever's listening to us, please comment below.
Yeah,
what's your
comment
favorite movie and what's your worst favorite movie of the year?
Put that in the comment section below. And I guess that's where we're going to end it today, Nick.
Is that where we're cutting it?
Yeah.
I say we cut it there.
All right, awesome.
Artur, tell them the site to check out.
Yeah, check out www.talkiesnetwork.com where you can check out our articles on what, Nick?
On movies, TV shows, comic books, anime, video games, you name it, we have it. You can also check us out here on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe here. We don't upload on SoundCloud anymore.
No,
we ran out of minutes.
Yeah, we're not going to upgrade to a pro account.
So forget that. And I think that's it. We'll see you on next week.
All right, bye.
Bye.